everybody, and welcome back to the Life Unlimited Coaching channel. This is Coach Kayla, and today I want to talk about 9 things that you can implement right away to lose weight and keep it off for good. Okay, now all 9 of these things are things that you can implement into your lifestyle that should be kind of long game strategies to lose the weight, keep it off for good, and then things that you can keep doing long term. So none of these are quick fix ideas. I'm not going to promise that if you do them, you're going to lose 6 pounds next week. I'm just saying that if you do these things, you'll be able to lose weight, you'll be able to feel awesome, and then you'll be able to keep the weight off long term. Okay. So the first thing is incorporate more whole foods into your diet. And what I mean by that is everything that you eat, when you put it on your plate, ideally every single thing you have on your plate is a single ingredient item. So chicken, broccoli, blueberries. It should be one thing with one ingredient. Okay. The more you do that and the more you avoid overly processed foods, you're going to reduce inflammation. You're going to feel a lot better. Your body is going to be able to get the nutrients it needs. And it's going to, it's just better overall. Okay. So that's number 1. Number 2, make sure you're getting enough fiber. Okay. Everybody should be getting, women, the recommended daily amount of fiber for women is 25. That's the minimum. Okay. And you can, the closer you get to 50, the better. And men, it's 30. And so if you're not even hitting 25, you want to make sure that you're at least hitting that and then getting as much as you possibly can. In fact, the more that your carbohydrates can come from fiber, the better you'll just feel overall. Your gut health's going to be better. Everything's going to be better. Okay. One really easy way to make sure that that's happening is make sure that you're eating 3 servings of high fiber vegetables and fruits. Okay. So some of the highest fiber fruits are berries, apples, and then from like a vegetable standpoint, carrots are really good. And like green vegetables are really good. Okay. The third one is increase your protein intake. Okay. Very few of my clients eat enough protein when they first start with us. And this is something that we really drive home. And it goes really well. If you pair it with the fiber, that's when things really get moving in a lot of ways. Okay. And so to make sure you're getting enough protein, one kind of metric that you can use is you want to make sure that you're getting at least 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of goal weight. Okay. And so if your goal weight is 150 pounds, you can easily just times that by 1, and then that would give you 150 grams of protein a day, but it can be anywhere in that range depending on where you kind of naturally hang out. And so what I advise people to do is actually just eat normal, right? And then track and see how many grams of protein you are getting right now. Because if you're not even getting 0.8 grams per pound of body weight, then jumping up to that or jumping to like 1.2 or 1.0 grams of protein per pound of body weight it's kind of a big ask, and it can cause some digestive issues. And so it's better to kind of ease yourself into it. At least that's what I found. Okay. And so you want to make sure that you're increasing your protein intake. The fourth one is walk more. Okay. This is a super important thing that is kind of underappreciated. Okay. So if you're not getting 6,500 steps a day at minimum, you're not moving enough. Okay. If you don't have a step tracker, there's lots of apps that you can download on your phone, but you want to make sure that you're moving enough throughout the day. Okay. It's good for your gut health. It's good for your muscles. It's good for your, it reduces inflammation. It's good for your stress levels. Everything's better if you walk more. Okay. The fifth one is you want to make sure, this is super important, and I wish it was more prioritized in our society, but you need to make sure that you're getting enough sleep. Okay. And enough sleep is anywhere between 7 and 9 hours every single night. Okay. If you're one of those people who run on 5 hours of sleep and feel better running on 5 hours of sleep, you're lying to yourself. Like, our entire body system needs 7 to 9 hours of sleep. And so that's something that I would really, really prioritize. In fact, I kind of wish I would have put it at number 1, but I digress. Number 5, sleep more. Okay. If you don't know how much you're sleeping, track it, see if you can improve it, find different ways to make sure that you're getting enough sleep. Okay. Go to bed early, Stop using screens like an hour before bed. Wind down before you get into bed, kind of get a nighttime routine going. That usually helps, okay? The sixth one is make sure that you're getting enough water, okay? And enough water, there's a lot of different statistics out there, lots of different numbers that people have thrown around. And from what I've found, anywhere between 80 to 128 ounces, so like 80 ounces to a gallon, most people can find kind of their happy zone in there, okay, of water every single day. And so if you're not getting 80 ounces, start small. Like if 40 ounces is the shot is like a hard target for you, start there, but slowly increase it so that you're getting 80 to 128 ounces every single day, okay? The seventh one is make sure if you're trying to lose weight, you have to be in a caloric deficit, okay? Otherwise you won't. It doesn't matter how many fruits and vegetables and healthy foods you eat. If you're eating them in the wrong quantities, you're still not going to lose weight, okay? You'll feel really good, but you're not going to lose weight or lose fat, okay? So you want to make sure that you're putting yourself into a caloric deficit. Now, a caloric deficit, it's different for every single person. What I usually advise people is to track your calories for 1 to 2 weeks and also track your weight at that same time. And then at the end of the week, you're going to take your calories, you're going to average them out, right? Some days you're going to be high, some days you're going to be low. It doesn't matter. You're going to take the average, okay? And then at the same time, you're going to track your weight and see what happens based off of how many calories you naturally eat, okay? Let's say you naturally eat 1,800 calories and your body weight goes down even just a little bit over the course of the week on average, okay? If that's the case, then you could assume that 1,800 calories is a deficit and you could continue to eat at 1,800 calories and the weight would slowly crawl down at the rate that you saw it crawl down in week 1, right? Or if you want to be more aggressive, you could drop it just a little bit. I wouldn't go too extreme, maybe 1 to 200 calories more, and just see what happens. You kind of turn yourself into your own science experiment. There's lots of calculators and stuff like that online that you can find where they'll tell you how many calories to eat. But I have found that sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. And I would rather just find out for myself how my body responds. Okay. That's what we do with our clients, and it works really, really well. We take the calculators into consideration, but ultimately, your body needs to tell us what it wants, and we need to listen to it and how it responds, okay? The 8th thing is strength train 3 times a week. So if you're not currently doing any type of strength training, you need to start. And this can look a variety of different ways, okay? I think sometimes we think strength training looks like going to the gym, lifting dumbbells or barbells or using the machines or any of that. And for some people, that's extremely intimidating, right? But strength training could be something as simple as doing body weight exercises at home, okay? Push-ups, sit-ups, squats, stuff like that. Anything that engages the muscles and causes them to build, like break down so it can build itself back up, that counts as strength training, okay? And like I said, it can look a variety of different ways. The method that you want to use to make sure that you're actually building muscle is called progressive overload, and that can look a variety of different ways, okay? But ultimately, all you're doing is you're either increasing the amount of reps that you're doing, you're increasing the amount of sets that you're doing, or you're increasing the amount of weight that you're using over the course of 4 to 5 to 6 weeks, and then decreasing, and then you can switch up the routine, do the same thing. But I think a lot of people think that it has to be a variety of things too, but you can genuinely just do the same exercises for 6 weeks at a time and just increase the sets and the reps over the course of the 6 weeks. And you're going to see improvement, and you're going to achieve the same results as somebody who's going to the gym and actually lifting weights. You're just doing it in a different way, okay? And finally, the 9th thing is you want to make sure that you're actually managing your blood sugar. And what this looks like is there's lots of different ways. Well, there's not really a lot of different ways to do that, but it's something that especially people who are pre-diabetic or diabetic, obviously they need to do this. But the only difference between a regular person who is not diabetic and someone who is diabetic is that the diabetic's body is kind of freaking out a little bit and doesn't know how to manage the blood sugar naturally as well, right? But a regular person needs to do the same thing. Our bodies are just more equipped to handle it for now, right? And so the more that we can naturally manage it on our own without having our body to go into overdrive and stress out about bringing the sugars down, the better. And so the best way to do this is make sure that anytime you eat anything, it has a really good balance of macronutrients. And if you don't know what those are, macronutrients are the makeup of calories. Okay, so they're proteins, fats, and carbs. And so anytime you eat anything, you want to make sure that it has a good balance of protein, fat, and carbs. Okay, so you don't want to eat just carbs by itself, otherwise it'll spike your blood sugar. But if you ate carbs with a protein and fat source, it's not going to spike your blood sugar, and your blood sugar will be able to be maintained, and you won't have the highs and the lows and the crashes and all that stuff that happens, and your body will be less stressed out. Okay. Anyway, so that's my 9 tips on how to lose weight and keep it off for good. Hopefully it was super helpful. If it was, please give me a hashtag value. Please like, subscribe, turn on the little bell, and make sure that you tune in next week, and I will see you then.